there's a way we could set up the home invasion, which has to happen so you have a movie where she's a little more at fault. Instead of them just being like, screw this lady, we're just gonna like break into her home. Maybe she took something of theirs. One thing I've been reading up on a little bit lately that could be an interesting specific detail about how she does the humiliation or how she crosses a line would be if she doxes somebody. Do you know what doxing is?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
like,
they dox her in the story also.
they do,
Because-
but what if
yeah.
she doxed him back and something bad happened to him? I don't know. It's for the January 6th people, I'm happy actually to see these guys get doxed because they did commit crimes. But for somebody who's just was giving her grief online and she's like, look, this idiot, mime fan 123, but I actually looked him up and this is his name. His name's, Brian Greenfield, and he lives at this address. And then, he has consequences, and then the audience would be like, oh, she should, to call him out for his behavior, but don't dox him. Personally, I love movies where the morality is a little bit blurred, where it's not just, oh, innocent film critic and then mean men try to break in, but where she actually did something that was uncalled for to provoke it.
I thought of that. I don't know if that's kind of the direction I want to go in, just to be honest, but I have thought of that, where maybe she could just sort of be online and kind of goading people, which I think she's already doing. And then the thing is, with the online mob, there's a part in the third act where they actually talk about that. And I've seen it because I have a friend, he sort of goes on these like 4chan and 8chan and stuff, which I'm sure you've heard of, which I think is the most toxic that you could get into. And they sort of like talk about how they're all on there sort of like riling each other up and this kind of stuff. So I kind of wanted to have more of that vibe, but I can think about her doing more stuff also.
It adds a little bit of a blurred morality. So it's not just pure innocent her. But the other reason, just sort of from a functional perspective, is one of the biggest problems with a lot of screenplays is passive protagonists. And so it gives you just more stuff to shoot in the earlier parts of the film, because you can show her at some point making the decision to go into that rabbit hole and sort of stoop to their level and play that game with them. And then, surprise, surprise, it works out badly for her.
How about this? I'll think about it. on that point.
I think that's the right prescription. Yeah, it's a half-baked thought in my mind, so it's certainly not conviction on my part that that's a must do. It just feels like I really dig films where you're sitting there and you want to root for the protagonist, but you're like, she kind of goaded them. That I totally dig that. So I don't know. See if there's a middle ground there.
Go to WeMakeMovies.org and become a member today.